So I'm heading over to Matt Sixberry's shop in the Porsche. Today's his grand opening. Sideways Fab is the name of his shop here in Loveland. He was working out of Florida, he just moved here. So he's having a big meat and food truck thing, and looks like it's gonna be a good amount of fun, so I'm heading over there now. His shop is actually like not even 5 minutes away from mine, so it's right around the corner. So figured I'd go stop by and throw my car in the mix.
Traded 300,000 mile BMW for that cafe racing piece of
So this was just a little meet put on at a new shop here called Sideways Fab and Custom, if we can focus, which is Matt Sixberry's shop, just over here at 34 and 287 in Loveland, Colorado. So if you need anything, go hit him up. He's an awesome dude, got an awesome shop, he does awesome work. So yeah, link in the description. So today is the next day, and as you can tell, I'm not driving the WRX, which is awesome because on my way home, I had a tire failure, and I actually got new tires recently, but I don't know what caused it, but it has a big old bubble on the inside sidewall now, and I didn't know what was going on because I just got this horrible like wobbling feeling in my car, so I limped it home, looked underneath, and there's a bubble in the sidewall. So I'm gonna go take it in to Les Schwab where I bought them and see if they can do anything for me warranty wise. Otherwise I'm just gonna have to buy a new one because I'm moving in like 2 days and I sort of need a car so I can move all my crap. So definitely got to get that taken care of. But I'm in the girlfriend's Mazda 6 right now. That's why it looks a little bit different. Outside of the tire looks fine. But we go underneath and let's see that little bubble in the sidewall there, right there. So that is making it feel like the wheel's falling off. So unfortunately, these are some specific lug nuts for these wheels, and I left my tool at the shop, which is an hour and a half away because I'm at my parents' house. So I'm gonna see if I can't find something here, or otherwise I'm gonna have to go search around the parts store, see if I can find something that'll work. Luckily it's just like a hex key. So I'm gonna go dig in my dad's toolbox, see if I have something here, or if he has something here that'll help me get my wheels off. I'm at the local parts store in the Mazda still. This is really close to the size, it's just a hair too big. So I'm gonna use this as a reference since I can't take a lug nut in to reference it. So hopefully I can find something that fits. This is what I found in there from Power Torque. The biggest single one they had was a 10 mil. This one goes up to 12, 14, 17, which those are gonna be way too big, but I think it might be a 12. So let's cross our fingers, hope that that works. Let's see once I get back to the house. like a glove. I gotta go find a socket. Or a ratchet rather, so I can pull this guy off. I'm gonna pull it into the garage. So now we get to play the game of find a jack, found one, and find a ratchet or a breaker bar so I can get this wheel off. Sweet. Oh, it's a little small for breaking lug nuts loose with. Shit. Got it. Check it out, the sidewall wasn't warped just in the one place, it's all sorts of chewed up, so I'm gonna take it and see what they can do for me. Probably end up just having to buy a new one. I doubt they're gonna warranty this. So yeah, good thing it's federal and it's cheap. Sweet, so let's head out to Le Schwab. I'm back in the car and the tire's not in here, so and it's getting taken care of. Not picking up till tomorrow just because they're like super busy here, and I thought I just told him I could pick it up tomorrow. Make it a little bit easier on him because they are short-staffed, it looks like. So sweet, got that all taken care of, and now I can go head home. I've actually been in the middle of moving, so I've lived up in Fort Collins, Colorado for like 3 years or so now, 4 years. And my shop has been down in Loveland, which is like 15 minutes away. And I just moved to Centennial, Colorado, which is about an hour and 20 minutes away from here. So I haven't been up to the shop in order to work on anything. I've been moving in down there, getting settled and everything. And I'm finally down here today. Sort of trying to clear some stuff out. So you can see I've got some of the shelves cleared off. This is all a mess because I'm figuring out what I'm throwing away, what I'm keeping. Like there's some trash, there's some keep. So yeah, I'm sort of sorting stuff into piles of keep and throw away. And I've got the WRX up here, and I'm gonna take a load of stuff down to the shop, or not to the shop, to the garage, because now I have a garage in my home. Now, this is about a 4-car garage or so, and the one at my apartment is a 1-car. So, I have to figure out how to squeeze all of this stuff from in this big, open, huge space, you know, what I'm used to, into, it's essentially an oversized 1-car. So there's like a space for the car, and another like 9 feet in front of the car or so, which will be good for my workbench, toolbox, all that stuff. So it's better than a normal like apartment 1-car garage, but it is a lot smaller than this. Now the nice part about it, about this garage, I'm actually pretty excited about it, is I'm now gonna have the Porsche at home. Versus before I was working here, which was about 20 minutes away from my house or my apartment. So anytime I wanted to work on it, I had to drive all the way down here. So basically, there'd be times like late at night where I'd want to go put in 30 minutes on the car, or, you know, get something little done to it, but I didn't because I didn't want to drive 40 minutes, you know, here and back just to work on it. Now I can just walk down the stairs and it's basically just another room in my apartment. So yeah, I'll be getting this moved down hopefully this weekend. The Camaro is going to go to my dad's house, back to his garage, because I'm going to be living real close to him now, so I can go down there and work on it there. Yeah, but right now I'm just sort of cleaning up. Well, I mean, it's a mess, but that's because I'm sort of making a mess. More clearing stuff out and loading the Subaru up so that I can take a trip down with a car full of stuff. So today's the next day, and I'm back. The Subaru, I completely loaded up to the ceiling and emptied it out at the new garage. So now I'm here, I've got the Porsche moved out, the battery's dead, that's why it's running. I'm letting it charge back up. I don't know why the battery's dead. Apparently there's some sort of parasitic drain. Got a level car, so eventually I'll have to look for that. Got some more tubs here just to put some more things into. The battery's dead on this as well, so it's on the charger. Not completely dead, just mainly because I don't drive it, so it just gets started and then moved. But yeah, that's on the battery tender, so I can move it out of here. I can't really get anything in here to jump it, but I got tubs so that I can move a bunch of this stuff out because I need to get rid of it, and a bunch of this stuff. So I'm gonna see if I can sell some of this stuff because these are all good parts still. If not, they're going to the scrap yard. A bunch of this is going to the scrap. That's a bad engine, don't know what to do with that, probably scrap it. And then some of this stuff needs to be kept though, like I have my center console for the Porsche, those are pretty valuable. So I'm gonna hold on to that, and then assorted tools and crap, and then I might cut up this workbench and actually take it and use it as my workbench at my new garage. And then I don't think I'm gonna be able to fit my toolbox in the Subaru. I'll be able to fit the top part if I want to, but not the bottom. So yeah, that'll have to go in my dad's pickup truck that I'll have to borrow one of these days. Someone's coming to pick this up right now. I've got a bunch of wheels here. I don't know, I'm just gonna continue loading stuff up and cleaning this place out. Need to load up my welder. But yeah, I need to take some runs to the scrapyard because a bunch of this stuff needs to go away. Fortunately, it's Sunday, so I can't do that. I also need to make some runs to the dump because I have just like lots of trash or stuff that, you know, I need to get rid of that is not steel. So I've got those bags and all sorts of crap that I'm getting rid of. I've really got to minimize my belongings in here since I'm going to a much smaller space. So yeah, should be fun.
You're good, you're clean. Hold on, let me look at the back.
So here I am in the new garage. If you've been watching my past few videos, you'll know that I moved out of the shop that I was in because I was actually moving into Denver from Fort Collins, and this is my garage at my new apartment. So it's pretty small, but for an attached apartment garage, it's actually pretty roomy. I have all this room, plus about 2 feet behind the camera, and then the porch right now is against the garage door, so that's pretty much how much room I have in here. So I'm pretty excited about being done here, even though I have a smaller space to work on my car, but it's attached to my house, so I will be able to be working on it more often. So I'd say that's a pretty good trade-off. Now right now it's sort of echoey in here, so I apologize for the audio. Soon I'm gonna get some stuff to hang on the walls and stuff to sort of mitigate that while sort of making it look a little bit more cool in here. But for now, with the new place comes a new job, and at my new job I need a toolbox. So I want to still have a toolbox at home, obviously. And I haven't decided if I'm going to take this one or the new toolbox with me. But right here and back there, you can see I bought a new toolbox. I bought it off of actually Facebook Marketplace for like 75 bucks. It's an old Mac Economizer 2000. It's a small 27-inch box from the 90s. But it was dirt cheap. It was 75 bucks for a decent box, but it's really worn out, so I'm sort of doing a light restoration on it. Mechanical restoration at least. It's not getting painted or anything yet. But yeah, so today, since I have not much else to do, I still need to set up the garage and stuff, sort of my workspace, because I don't have like a workbench or anything in here. Just have sort of stuff strewn out everywhere, as you can tell. It's a bit of a mess in here. But that'll all change soon once I get sort of my organization strategies down. But yeah, let's dig into this box and see what needs done. So sorry about the goofy lighting right now. I just have one of my old LEDs sitting on the floor. The lighting in here is pretty terrible because it's sort of just made to park your car in here. Here's the lower part of the box. You can tell it's pretty beat up from the top, but I cleaned up pretty nicely, and then it's a non-ball bearing. So it's just normal slides, but what I did is I took apart the slides. I already did this part. I have not done the top part of the box yet. But I took the slides out, the channels, which there's channels just like this, but on the chest side, I beat those in so that they would hold this a little bit tighter. These weren't worn out on the drawers themselves, they were only worn out on the chest. So now the drawers are a lot more solid. And then I lubricated them afterwards, and now honestly it's feeling about like it did from new. Maybe a little bit worn out, but I'm actually pretty impressed with how it came out. It looks pretty clean. But now we move to the top piece, which that is assembled a little bit different, but it seems like that one's less worn out. It just needs a good cleaning and lubrication. So I'm gonna put it on top of this box, and then I can work on it without having to bend over. So when I got my big 42-inch Craftsman, this box actually needed a restoration pretty badly. All the slides were full of dirt and sand, and so all the drawers were real crusty. Now they all glide real nice how they should, latch and everything. So what I learned when I did that is the most important thing is to make sure that your toolbox is like perfectly clean, because really this is going to be the only time you ever get to do that, because usually when you are working with toolboxes, they're full of tools, and you never want to take it apart to clean it ever again. So that's what I think is the most important thing. Now, this will probably be the only time that, unless you go through and redo your toolbox again, that you remove all the drawers. So that is also important to pull all the drawers out and clean them out while you're in there, because most likely you're not going to be in there again. So the way these single slide toolboxes work, and these are sort of the cheaper or older boxes, is there's this little hole right here, and that tab, you just push it in with a flathead screwdriver or whatever tool, one on each side, and then pull it, and it pulls off the slides. That tab just interacts with that part that's sort of punched in there, and that's a physical stop. So first step is just pull all the drawers out and start cleaning them. there's the box with all the drawers removed. Now these slides, a couple of them are a little bit sloppy. I like to make sure that they're pretty tight in there, like that one's real sloppy. And this happens over time. It basically wears out these sections of the box right here that hold them in. You can see that they're real loose in those. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull all these slides out. And they are all the same, so you don't really have to worry about mixing them up. I'm gonna take a hammer and tighten these down a little bit by a little bit until I can slip this in and it's a little bit tighter. You can actually see, like on that one, it's a little bit dark, but you can see it tapers up, like it bends up over time, and that's from there just being too much weight in the box essentially. So that needs to get knocked down to where it was originally. And then these actually have this real nasty grease on them. It's real sticky. It looks like Lucas Red grease. And that grease is just too sticky. It actually causes the slides to stick into place. And I'm gonna replace that with just some silicone grease. Real easy, cheap stuff. It's a lot more slick than this sticky grease is. It might not last as long, but as long as it's maintained and greased over time, it'll work a lot better than this stuff did. Some guy must have tried to re-grease these, and I don't think he cleaned them at all. He used this real thick grease, and it's causing them to stick pretty bad. So that is all gonna be undone. I'm just using some cheap engine degreaser since these are all covered in grease. The box is fully disassembled, it's fully clean. I cleaned out all the slides inside the box. All of the physical slides themselves have been degreased and wiped down, and they're all looking perfect. So now I'm gonna take a hammer. Basically what I'm gonna do is take a slide, test fit it into the slide inside the box, and then tap it with I've got a body hammer around here somewhere. Maybe. So I've got a body hammer and I'll tap these slides in until these are, I don't want them to be tight to where there's friction, but I don't want them to be, right now they're pretty loose to where if I put one in there, it can wiggle around a bunch. So basically I want it to be, I want it to slide, but I don't want it to be able to wiggle. So yeah, I'll complete that, and then essentially I can put it all back together and lubricate it, and it'll be all done besides being wiped down. See how it's, it needs to be squared off like that. That's how it was originally from the factory. See how it's sort of rounded out on the top? So what I'm gonna do is I've been taking this pry bar and situating it near the end, and then taking a hammer and tapping the end of the hammer until it sort of squares it off. I do the same for the bottom because this bottom's sort of rounded out as well. Basically the end of it, instead of being square, it sort of opens up like a bell. So I square it off again, and then I take the slide, test fit it, and make sure it's tight, and do it until I can get it as tight as possible without it biting up, and then I'm done and I've moved on. So this is the last one. Besides these center ones, I still have to do these guys as well for since there's 3 drawers on the top. Essentially, it's just a little bit like this. Take this and test fit it. So it's still pretty loose. So I still got a ways to go. So there's gonna have to be a little bit of play in it, just due to this type of box, but see, now I just have a small amount of play, which I'm still gonna go in a little bit tighter. That's a lot better than it was even just a second ago. There we go. That's exactly how I want it. Just a tiny amount of play. So now, I'm gonna work on finishing these, and then I can drop all the slides back into their slots. And then the drawers, I'm gonna actually lubricate them. I'm gonna spray them down with that silicone spray before I drop the drawers in, because it's easier to get to all the slides. And I'll drop the slides in, spray it once more, and hopefully that'll be the end of it. All the drawers are back in her, and they seem to slide pretty nicely. Obviously, it's not a ball bearing, what do you call it, toolbox like my Craftsman is. So it's not going to smooth as nice, or you know, slide as smoothly or as nicely as one of those. But they slide out nice and smooth, nice and easy. I can sort of, you know, that's a good sign if I can push them and they sort of slide all the way in and bounce out. With, you know, that small amount of play that was in there when I would wiggle the ends, you know, that's what makes a difference. So that's why I tapped those in, because this is still a fair amount of play. Now it's going to be more overstated with the drawers unloaded, because they're going to be, you know, there's no weight on them. But if there was weight on them, you know, it's going to feel a lot more solid going in and out. But the weight on them is what causes those slides to sort of wear out those parts in the box. But now it's quite nice. So now I can just clean off the outside, make it look a little bit pretty, and then I can mount it on the bottom chest and sort of be done with it for the day. There's the finished product next to my 42 Craftsman. You can see the idiot before me pounded in the top. They must have used it as a hammering surface, so this doesn't sit flush on there anymore, unfortunately. You can actually see the buckle points sort of right there and right there, but the drawers still slide out perfectly smooth, which is good. As well as on the top, they come out real nicely, and the top obviously. But yeah, there it is. It looks a little miniature next to that guy, but I haven't decided if I'm going to take the big guy to work or if I'm going to take the little one. I sort of have to see what all I'm going to be doing there. I'm not 100% sure at this point, but it's an exciting job opportunity, so definitely warranted a new box. I think this is really the only box drawer that's giving me issues still, but may need a little more work. I think what I may do is paint these, because if you see these are all painted black. I may end up painting these little handles black so they match, and then that would make it look a lot better, because as it sits it would look really good if it was all matching. That's really the biggest wear point. And then there's, you know, a few spots where paint has been worn off and stuff, but it would look a lot better if those were painted black. So let me know what you think I should do.